This video is going to show you how to capture bits of information off of your computer screen and paste them into a Moodle quiz. This course has been set up to be paperless, which means you don't need to buy a paper copy of the lab manual from the bookstore. You're going to do everything electronically. But one of the things you're going to need to do is do a set of pre-lab questions before each lab. And those are done as Moodle quizzes, which is why I need to teach you how you can capture an image off of your screen electronically and then paste it into your Moodle quiz. So you're probably aware that you can screenshot your computer screen, but you may not be aware that you can screenshot little parts of it rather than the entire screen. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do. Now I've created a Moodle document for you. This is in the top section of the course, so I click into this top section, and down here I have this quick reference, how to screenshot small areas of your screen and paste them. So I'm going to open that up and show you what's in this. So here's that document, and what it teaches you is how to capture just little parts of a computer screen. So this is going to vary depending on what type of computer you have. So if you've got a Windows PC, which is what I have, you hold down the Shift, Windows, and S key at the same time. So I hold down Shift, then I hit the Windows key, and then I tap S. And what happens is the screen goes gray, and now I can select whatever little part of this I want to screen capture. So I could screen capture just this region. It gets saved to the internal memory of your computer at that point. And I can, for example, open up a blank document now and just paste that in. And it appears. So I was able to screenshot just a little bit of the screen and then paste it into another spot. So I'll close this. And as I said, that's how you do it on a Windows computer. That's actually relevant because you'll need to do this in the lab room as well when you're filling in your paperless lab reports. All of the lab computers are Windows machines. However, at home you might have, for example, a Mac, in which case you're going to use Command 4, and that'll do the same thing. You'll be given the option to highlight just a small section of your screen and screen capture that. On a Chromebook, you're going to hold down Shift, Control, and then this Show Windows key up at the top. And again, you'll highlight a small area of your screen to copy. Going down to the next page, if you've got a tablet, it might be a little more complicated because usually you can only screen capture the entire screen. However, there are ways to do it. On an Android tablet, press the power and the volume down buttons at the same time. That will take a screenshot. If you've got an iPad, you hold down the sleep-wake button and the volume up button at the same time, which might be in one of two different locations. If you've got an older device that has a home button, you hold down the sleep-wake button and the home button at the same time. So if it's possible, pause the video here and actually practice taking some screenshots on the device you plan to use to do your Moodle quizzes. So assuming you're back now, the next question is how we're going to get that information into a quiz. So let's go back to a quiz. So in your quizzes, I've set things up so that you can paste your answers directly into this answer box, including those screenshots. And this is supposed to be easy. You don't even need to save the screenshot. You can just take the screenshot and paste it directly in here. So that's what I'll show you next. So first of all, what sort of things are you going to be pasting in here? Well, on a lot of questions, they'll give you a little image and they'll tell you to do something to it. In other words, you're supposed to draw on it and then put this image into your quiz. So on this question, they've got a graph and they want you to draw a constant speed of 4 meters per second on it. So you draw a line on this. You'll also need to put numbers on your axes. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. Down below, there's a PDF version of this. So if you've got a tablet and a stylus, you may want to open this up and annotate it. I'm going to use the Word document version here. So I'd open this up, enable editing, and now I'm going to want to use the drawing tools in Word to annotate this. So I'd click on this diagram, and then to insert some lines, I'd go to Insert, Shapes, and it's these drawing tools here that are going to be most useful to me. So there's a straight line, there's also a curved line here, and there's a freehand drawing tool as well. So let me show you all three of these. So the straight line, I click on that, and then I just click and drag a straight line. If I want to put in a curved line, again, Insert, Shapes, and I'd click on this line here for the curved line. And the way you use this is you'd click, and then click again, and keep clicking, and when you're done, you double click. So it allows you to draw a curve like that. If I want a squiggly line that I draw freehand, Insert, Shapes, and then this freehand drawing tool at the end. And then I can just draw whatever I want here. Now for this question, you also need to put some numbers on your axes. So for this, you'd go Insert, Shapes, and then there's a little text box drawing tool here. So I can, for example, draw a box, put a number in it, and if I need to make things bigger, I can. And I can click and move this guy around a little bit. So this may be a little fiddly, but you can use the text boxes to put the numbers on your axes. When you're totally happy with everything, then you would use the skills I taught you previously to take a screenshot of just this graph. So I'm on a Windows machine. I would go Shift, Windows key S. The screen goes gray, and then I click and drag to highlight just my graph. Then I'm going to go back to the Moodle quiz. Click where I want that image to appear. So right here, I just click into it, and then I'm going to paste it into this box. Now, how you paste things can vary depending on which web browser you're using. So I'm going to show you a way to paste on various devices. So if you're on a Windows machine or on a Chromebook, you can hold down Control-V, and it pastes that screenshot into here immediately. So I didn't need to save my screenshot. I just took it, came here, Control-V, and it pastes it into the answer box. If you're on a Mac, you would use Command-V to do the same thing. So Control-V or Command-V to paste your image into the answer box. Now, if you're using a tablet, that's probably not going to work just because they're not set up to do those kinds of pastes. So there's always a backup in these cases, and if you scroll down, you'll see what it is. It's that we've got a drag and drop area where you can attach files. So if you're on a tablet, for example, or if you cannot get this screenshot to work for any reason, then you use the backup, and that is that you'd go and save your file, and then come back to your quiz and upload a copy of that file here for your lab instructor. So it's a little easier for your lab instructor to grade things when you've got a screenshot, but if you can't make that work, go ahead and just upload a file instead, and they'll mark that. So going back to that document I showed you that is listed on the Moodle page, if you scroll down a little bit, it does outline this stuff as well. So Windows machine or Chromebook, you can use Control-V. On a Mac, use Command-V. There's also a page here about what to do in the case of tablets, but like I said, with a tablet, it's often easiest to just save your file and then upload it to the quiz. So now let me show you that again with a different example. Some of the questions that you'll need to answer are actually ones where they're asking you to do some calculations by hand or make a graph by hand and then photograph it and then paste that work into your answer box. So how do you do that? Well, I've got a webcam plugged into my computer, and I'm going to show you how you would capture a handwritten calculation with a camera. So I'm on a Windows machine, and I'm going to use the camera app just to show what that webcam is seeing. So what I would do is I've got a calculation here, and I can hold it up to that webcam just so that I can see it. And then I'm not going to actually take a photo of this. What I'm going to do is just go Shift Windows S like before. The screen freezes, and then I can highlight just the area of the screen that contains that calculation. And now I can go back to my quiz, click where I want it to appear, and again, because this is a Windows machine, I'll go Control-V, and it pastes my calculation in here. So you can point a webcam at a calculation, take a screenshot, and then paste that screenshot in here in the usual way. And like before, if you can't get this to work for any reason or you want to do a scan instead of a photograph, you can always upload the photo below. Thank you for your attention, and remember that this file that shows you all the different key combinations to take a screenshot or to paste those screenshots are located in the top section of your Moodle page.